Well, on the news, our debate tonight, representing the Pakistani point of view, is Tariq Azim, leader of the PMLN and former Deputy Information Minister of Pakistan. Syed Tariq Pirzada is joining us from Lahore, Strategic Affairs Analyst. Maruf Raza, Times Now Strategic Affairs Analyst, and KC Singh, former Secretary, Ministry of External Affairs, are joining us from Delhi, respectively. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Let's get the Pakistani perspective. Mr. Tariq Azim, what is Pakistan going to gain by deliberately trying to provoke any further? You know, this whole statement which has come in from your foreign minister that we are not going to now consider MFN status to India, we need to normalize other things. This was directly in the context of MFN status related to the incidents along the line of control. Now, for a long while, there was a certain constituency in Delhi which felt that, you see, whatever is happening is because the Pakistani army is in charge. But Mr. Tariq Azim, it now appears that the Pakistani army and the Pakistani government are working together. And that there is a deliberate attempt to somehow, you know, ratchet up tensions. Why is this being done, Mr. Tariq Azim?
Well, for a very long time, Arnab, India has always complained that the army is working independently of the government. Now, are you complaining that why is the government and the army working together? I think that's the way it should be. The army is under control. The civilian government has got full control of the army, what army does. Now, that is the way it is. Now, we have to decide exactly who has caused this confrontation. Now, we have got a whole history that every time there is, it seems that we are going towards the negotiation path. Every time there is going to be comprehensive or composite dialogue is going to take place.
Right.
Such incidents happen. The history is full of such incidents. We have had people, you know, who have died on our side of the border. Now, when we say, okay, let's take and ask the United Nations observers who are on the line of control, let them decide, let them inquire and find out who started all this, who is responsible for this. Of course, India.
Is it an attempt to just internationalize the situation? Because then, Mr. Tariq Azim.
Let me just.
Okay, complete.
Let me please complete my argument, please. Now, you don't want to do that. Then we just say, okay, bring in a third party. You don't want to do that.
No.
You say, according to a Shimla agreement, it should be bilateral. I said, fair enough. Okay, let Manmohan Singh and Nawaz Sharif sit together when they meet in next month in United Nations. Fair. And now there are elements on your side who say that we don't want that either. So if nothing is going to happen, there's no way we can have talks together.
No, it is.
What is the alternative? How are you going to resolve this issue?
You see, what has happened is, I mean, the perspective is very clear, Mr. Tariq Azim, though I think KC Singh will explain better. The perspective is this, that your army is very frustrated. You see, your army works through and with the Lashkar-e-Toiba, the Hizbul Mujahideen, the Jaish-e-Mohammed. For some reason, your army works behind them. And in July 2012, Tariq Azim, you know and I know, we all know, that 23 infiltrators were killed on the LOC when they were trying to infiltrate. So your army is frustrated. The worry is why your government is giving in to your army's designs. Within weeks of Nawaz Sharif coming back to power in Pakistan, I throw the ball because Tariq Azim, right on top, KC Singh, threw the ball back in India's court and said it is India which is ratcheting up tensions. We are getting some reports of an anti-India resolution that could be passed in the Pakistani Assembly. It appears the political class in Pakistan is coming together behind the Pakistani army this time. Your response to Mr. Tariq Azim?
Arnab, firstly, there is a series of events which have taken place. It's not one single event. Then you could probably think that probably this is a one-off. And this is happening on the eve of the UN General Assembly. Traditionally, before October, November, there is a tendency on the part of the Pakistani army to push militants in before the snows come in. And secondly, on the eve of the UN General Assembly, there would be an attempt to try to internationalize it so that by the time the two prime ministers meet in New York and the General Assembly is meeting, they should be seen by the UN and by the international community as a flashpoint. And I think it's moving in that direction. Now, what is happening in Kishtwar, we haven't had rioting in northern Jammu in a long time. Now, these should not be seen as isolated incidents. These are all part of a larger move to somehow show that the situation in Jammu and Kashmir is not stable, it's not normal, because militancy had got dormant, militants were under control, and I think we are going into a turbulent phase. And if the Pakistani government is constrained now to announce that the most favored nation treatment cannot be given, then obviously there's pressure which has come from the military and other authorities.
So you're saying
But
the
from
Pakistan is
to say
acting
that
to a
they are
plan?
Spoilers on the Indian side. That they are spoilers on the Indian side is incredible. Who has done it on the Indian side? We don't need to fire across the LOC because we are not pushing anybody into Pakistani occupied Kashmir. It's they who are pushing people in here. So the firing doesn't make any sense from our side.
So this Syed Tariq, I'm just getting an opening round from everyone, and this has been quite evident. In fact, most observers here, Syed Tariq Pirzada said that on July 1st, when a Pakistan suicide bomber crossed the LOC and blew himself up, he blew himself up 25 meters from an Indian army picket. Right? Other than the bomber, there were no casualties. This was July 1st. And people saw the pattern here. There have been definitive suicide attacks by Lashkar inside JNK. This happened in Bemina. This happened before the Prime Minister's visit to Kashmir on July 25th. So there has been both inside and outside, but the signals are very clear. So my question to you is, Syed Tariq Pirzada, most people, Mr. Pirzada, in India and across the world have seen through the Pakistani design. You're not going to achieve anything out of it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Can you hear me, Mr. Pirzada? Okay, let me throw that to Mr. Tariq.
1, 2, 3.
Mr. Tariq Azim. Mr. Tariq Azim.
Arnab, you are blaming us for starting this thing. We are saying that we did not start it. It was not our army. First of all, it was a statement that came out of your Lok Sabha, which said that it was Pakistan army which was involved.
No, our defense minister made it absolutely clear that it was the Pakistani army.
There was a U-turn, and it was said that it was not Pakistan army. It was militants dressed as Pakistani uniform who attacked this.
The truth was put out. You know the truth. You've been in government. You know the truth, Mr. Azim. That's not an argument. That's not an argument.
But that is what was said by India. There was a change of heart. And it was said that the earlier statement that was issued in the morning was contradicted in the afternoon.
You have unleashed Hafiz Saeed, who says in an interview that full-scale jihad will soon begin in Kashmir after American troops withdraw from Afghanistan. Was that said or not?
Arnab, this is something that your needle is always stuck on Hafiz Saeed.
Well, of course
Hafiz Saeed makes all kind of speeches. He does go on and does attack India. He does go, and when I say attack, I mean verbal attack. He goes and supports the freedom fighters or mujahideen in Indian Kashmir.
Terrorists, yes.
He does that.
He is himself a terrorist. He does not support.
We have got, yes, okay, but we have got people on your side as well who make such inflammatory speeches.
But
when we say that, we are attacked. Other day I said that, we have people, okay, Bal Thackeray is no longer with us, but we have got people like Narendra Modi, who was responsible for killing 2,000 Muslims in 2002. It's not me saying that. Human Rights Watch has said this.
Mr. Tariq Azim, you're trying to go away from the subject. The subject is so simple here. I'm asking you today, you tell me on Indian television, or let me actually put that to Syed Tariq Pirzada, if you can hear me now, Mr. Pirzada. You tell me today, who mooted the idea of most favored nation status to India? In 2011, we gave you MFN status in 1996. You said you were considering MFN status to India in 2011. I want you to tell me why you are linking the MFN status to what is happening on the border right now, unless your government is deliberately trying to ratchet it up. Mr. Pirzada, answer us.
Yes, Arnab, your problem is that you need an issue so you can sell your program.
Mr. Pirzada,
that the Indian media...
Mr. Pirzada, don't worry about my program. Don't worry about my program. My program does just fine, Mr. Pirzada, with or without any issues. The problem is that on this program, I do not believe, Mr. Pirzada. I do not know. I can tell you because you know, if you want to get... Mr. Pirzada, on this program, I don't believe in beating around the bush. And when I ask you a direct
let me
question,
answer.
I don't want you to
May
beat around the
I
bush.
answer your
No, I don't want you to
question?
beat around the bush. I wanted to ask you, is it true or not that the idea
All right,
of MFN
straight
status
answer.
came from
All
Pakistan
right,
in 2011?
Here is a straight answer.
Yeah, give me a straight answer.
Here is the straight answer. Here is the straight answer. Look, when you gave us the most favored nation status, that was a status on the paper. When we gave you the status, we meant it meant it. And you know, even without the status, Pakistan
Oh,
was
no,
giving,
Mr. Pirzada.
the benefit.
What you're proving
the benefit of India.
That's not
Pakistan was giving the benefit to India
Mr.
of exporting 2.64
You see,
billion
Mr. Pirzada,
dollar worth of
Mr.
goods to Pakistan.
Mr. Pirzada.
So that shows our good intent.
Mr. Pirzada,
Now
it
you
shows
are
your confusion.
exceeding the limits. Now you're firing at the line of control,
No,
killing
Mr.
Pakistani people,
Mr.
and you want
Pirzada,
Pakistan
Mr.
to,
Pirzada,
to
you know,
give you,
you know.
a leeway,
Mr. Pirzada,
to continue this aggression.
Mr. Pirzada, I'd like to hand it over to your friend Maruf Raza. But before I do that, I just want to tell you, Mr. Pirzada, that what is happening right now, what it seems to us in India, is that your government is under siege from your army. Because
Absolutely not.
it is
That
under
is
siege
not
from your army
that's
once
your
again.
Traditional accusation.
Wait, there's no
That is your
accusation.
false
There's no accusation, Mr. Pirzada.
accusation.
Mr. Pirzada, no.
It's a free
No. One second.
democratic government. If you don't
And
take
by the way,
advantage of Mr. drive the situation
Mr.
towards
Pirzada,
war.
Mr. Pirzada, by the way, Narendra Modi is a political leader in India. A prime ministerial candidate
was
of a
a
political
murderer.
party. He does not
He
send
was a
terrorists to
murderer of
Pakistan.
2,000 people's lives.
Narendra Modi does not
He
send
was a
terrorists to
murderer of
Pakistan, so that's a
2,000
bad
people
comparison.
in
You must
Gujarat.
withdraw that comparison.
What about Samjhauta Express?
Narendra Modi
Come
does
on,
not
we have
send
talked
terrorists
about
to
these things
Pakistan.
again and
No,
again and
please
again.
let us hold this debate under the norms of some relevant comparison. And
All
Narendra
right,
Modi
please,
does not
go
send
right
terrorists to
ahead.
Pakistan. He's a BJP's prime ministerial candidate. Anyway,
He
you
is a
did it for
terrorist.
rhetoric. I corrected you.
And he should
My
have been
question is,
executed long time ago.
my question is to Maruf. I'm willing to give you benefit of doubt. But Tariq Azim began Maruf by saying that it is India which is responsible for ratcheting up tensions. Now I'm asking tonight, 10 weeks back they said we will soon announce most favored nation status to India. Naeem Anwar, Minister of Trade in the Pakistan High Commission, said with the new government in Pakistan, relations are bound to improve manifold. And he said easier visa norms, enhanced business ties and MFN status. So what's happening now, Maruf? I want your counter to Tariq Azim as well.
Okay, Arnab, I've heard all the arguments, but let me try and put it in as logical a way as possible. The first point is, KC Singh did rightly bring out that these kind of activities do bring up tension just before the UN summits, whether it is a General Assembly meeting or in January when the beheading took place in the LOC. Remember, Pakistan at that point of time was holding the presidentship in a rotatory
No beheading took
situation
place. That is
where
an unsubstantiated statement.
Mr. Pirzada, please don't interrupt. I'm just giving my side of
Okay.
the story. You can counter it. First, that at that point of time, the tension was raised with the intention, once again, of bringing this on the UN table, because Pakistan, rightly so in their perception, believes that it's only the UN or third-party intervention that can resolve the issue. They don't have faith in the bilateral process. The second point I want to bring out is that Mr. Nawaz Sharif, though apparently claiming to be in control of the Ministry of Defense and the Armed Forces, even in his odd statement that he has made since this whole tension has gone up, there is no mention of the tension on the LOC. He is talking that the bilateral process should move forward. Why? Because Mr. Nawaz Sharif had a 4-point agenda primarily in bilateral relations when he got elected. A, electricity for Pakistan. B, trade. 3, pacifying the terrorists within Pakistan so that there's normalcy internally. And finally, better relations with India. Now, trade, etc. can move forward with India only if both countries decide to have most favored nation status for each other. Pakistanis would know, and I'm sure they would not deny it, that until recently, 3/4 of Pakistan's trade with India was happening through illegal channels via the Dubai route. So Pakistan's desire to go in for an MFN status was to benefit their own economy, because if legal trade takes place, they collect taxes in the process. India can do
I need
without
to
trade
correct
with
you,
Pakistan. If
Maruf,
Pakistan
for
doesn't,
one moment.
Sir, please listen to me, sir.
May
if
I-
Pakistan doesn't
No,
want to have
please, let me-
leading relations
because it
with
is
us,
time that
and
I just
since
make a
19
correction,
sir,
please.
Sir, let me give the historical context. Since 1974, this MFN
Well, you're
status
taking
has been
time,
toing
and we're
and
not
froing.
getting a chance to
And,
say anything.
Mr. Pirzada, just let me complete. You got enough time. The MFN status has been doing the round between the two countries since then. But my final point to you is that if you say you had
Yes.
no role to play in the recent attack on Indian soldiers, are your borders and the LOCs so badly mismanaged that jihadis can just walk across, kill Indian soldiers and disappear back there without the knowledge of the
No,
Pakistan
I think
army? You are yourself,
Yeah, may I answer
therefore
that point?
citing incompetence.
No, I'll throw it to Tariq
Incompetence of the
Azim.
Pakistan
Maruf,
army,
you have
which I am
made your
not
point.
ready to believe.
No, I think I
Because
throw it to
I am an
Tariq Azim.
admirer- I am an admirer of the
Maruf,
professional capability
I'm a
of the
great
Pakistan
admirer
army.
of yours,
so
but let me
therefore,
counter your
therefore,
point
how
very
do you
quickly.
cover? How do you cover the Pakistan army's attack on Indian soldiers when you say jihad?
No, I
did
think
they-
it's-
did they walk
May I
across and
answer?
walk
I
back?
think it's working to a game plan out here. You see, Tariq Azim one minute. Mr. Pirzada, may I hand over to Tariq Azim first?
fair.
Mr. Pirzada,
Let me
Mr. Pirzada, may I hand over to
Have
Tariq
you-
Azim first, please? Mr. Azim.
Have you considered the possibility, and I'm saying a possibility before anybody attacks me, a possibility that this attack has taken place because of this Hurriyat or because of the freedom fighters within Kashmir. And please do not say that you don't have any such things going on in
Mr.
your side of the border.
You got freedom fighters
Supposing,
there, sir. You got
supposing,
freedom fighters there. But, please,
Yes.
if you know the lay of the ground, no freedom fighter walks across to the LOC and attacks Indian soldiers. It is beyond physical capacity of the best guerrilla army to move from the valley to come and attack
Arnab,
Indian
may I-
soldiers and disappear back in the valley.
No,
It
I
doesn't
find that
happen, sir.
argument,
Believe me.
Mr. Azim, Mr. Azim,
I
may I?
admire, Arnab,
Yeah, go on,
I
I'll just call you.
I admire Maruf's his commitment to the army and his stance that Indian army is so strong that they would not allow any of these terrorists to go across and attack the Indian army. Of course, there's a possibility that they were attacked from within.
Mr. Tariq Azim.
I mean, are you saying that these people cross Pakistan
I
army?
admire the Pakistan army's military capability, and that is why I'm saying that how did those guys come across from the jihadi? Until now, the argument was, except yourself, virtually everybody from Pakistan said that even if they came across from the LOC, they were jihadis.
No, everybody
Now you're
knows
telling me people
that argument.
transport
No,
themselves.
that argument, Mr.
Can I-
Tariq
there are
Azim,
many barriers.
Mr. Azim,
There are
1 minute,
many
Mr.
barriers.
Azim,
It's
Mr.
physically
Azim, 1 minute, Mr.
impossible.
Azim. I'll tell you why your argument does not hold. The argument is very clear that your army was the aggressor because it took place for 3 reasons. I'll tell you why. The August 6th case
go ahead.
happened. 1, 450 meters inside Indian territory. 2, it has been proven it was a classical military ambush. It could not have been the work of irregulars as you are trying to suggest. I don't call them freedom fighters, by the way. There are no freedom fighters. There are
you're
terrorists.
taking
And a
too much
terrorist
of
is
a
a terrorist
time.
by any other name. And you should have the courage, Saeed Tariq Pirzada, of
The
calling
host of
Hafiz
the
Saeed a
program,
terrorist.
You're taking too much time.
Mr. Pirzada, why don't you just tell us whether or not you think Hafiz Saeed is a terrorist? Let's close this debate.
No,
once
he's
again.
not a terrorist.
Oh, there you are.
because,
There you are. Then you
because-
banned his entire
because he has been
organization in
acquitted
December
as an
2008 because he was a
innocent
social worker.
By the Supreme Court of Pakistan.
Yes, and you will remember.
Number one.
You
Number
will
two,
remember.
Kashmir is a living reality and internationally
You see, it will not-
recognized
it will not
dispute.
happen. It will
Your
not-
problem is
Mr. Pirzada.
you consider it
Mr.
an
Pirzada.
integral part of India, and it is not.
Mr.
Number
Pirzada,
three,
Mr. Pirzada, I don't want to
Kashmiris
get
have a right to
rhetorical with
liberate
you.
Their country.
No, I don't want
If
to.
you won't do it through the talks,
You see, Mr.
if you won't do it through negotiations, somebody will have to pay the price.
You see, you are
it could be the
in
people
that
of India,
threatening-
it could
that-
be the people of Pakistan, or it could be both.
Well, Mr. Pirzada, I don't want to, you have a threatening tone. I don't think threatening tones work. But I'd like you to remember
It is
and
not
never
a threatening
forget.
tone.
I know,
It's
Mr.
an analytical
Pirzada,
tone.
Mr. Pirzada,
It's an analytical
Mr. Pirzada.
tone.
This you
I am
see,
not-
you
I am in
see,
favor
Mr.
of
Pirzada,
talks.
Mr. Pirzada,
I'm
the
in
people
favor
of the army of
negotiations.
Pakistan.
I'm in favor of holding,
Mr. Pirzada, let's go
sooner
back.
than later,
Let's be rational
some,
tonight.
Mechanism
Mr.
to start
Pirzada,
serious
Mr.
negotiations on
Pirzada,
the
1
issue of
minute,
Kashmir,
Mr.
Siachen,
Pirzada,
Salt Lake.
4
And
times.
Already we had
4
that kind of
times.
diplomacy going on.
You have
and you guys are shooting
You see,
all this process in the foot. That's what you're doing.
Mr. Pirzada, now listen to me for 30 seconds, okay? 4 times in the past, when you have shown disregard for the LOC, you have paid the price. Every time you did it. And when you disregarded it 1948, you remember how you were beaten back. 1965, you know how you were beaten back.
You don't have to show your bravery this
1971,
time. These are nuclear
1971,
states.
your country will
This
never
is not-
forget.
this won't be
And
a conflict between
1999,
weapons.
in Kargil, you were beaten back so black and blue, Mr. Pirzada, that you did not even accept the bodies of your own soldiers. What I'm saying tonight is simply this, that despite the beheadings,
no capability.
no, let's not get rhetorical. You're getting very rhetorical and personal. But I'm saying tonight, because Mr. Tariq Azim has been a diplomat, that despite the beheadings of January, Sartaj Aziz and Salman Khurshid met. In other words, Mr. Tariq Azim, despite what happened in January and despite the very strong public opinion in our country, there was an attempt at still giving Pakistan a chance. But these are not the circumstances. This is not the atmosphere in which, Mr. Tariq Azim, you have been a politician, you expect talks to go forward. Has a decision been taken in Pakistan to, let us call it off, or let's contribute to calling it off?
Let me address that question for one moment.
Anything off. We want talks with India, but please, our desire to resolve all issues through dialogue should not be taken as weakness. A process of dialogue suits and benefits both countries. There is a feeling in India that every time you talk to Pakistan, somehow it's Pakistan that benefits. May I suggest to you that if there are talks between the two countries and we resolve our issues on a table, I think it will benefit both countries.
You resolve your issues.
Maybe the world think, yes, you are also have got problem. You have got a lot of poverty in your country, as we have. I think we can resolve the issues, and I think the most favored nation status will automatically come once we have resolved all the issues between us. That's only a small issue.
But then you can't have ceasefire violations. You can't have ceasefire violations.
No, of course not. I agree with you.
In 48 hours.
But ceasefire violation should not take place from either side.
No, the ceasefire violations have been happening from the Pakistani side.
It should not. Well, that's what you claim. When we ask for somebody else to come in and decide who is doing the violations, you don't want that.
I don't think.
When we say we sit together and decide, then you don't want that either. So I don't know how we're going to resolve this issue.
Mr. Tariq Azim, please, let's be realistic. This government in Delhi, despite public opinion, that it is giving a long rope, somehow Manmohan Singh is very keen on carrying on the peace process. Everyone knows that. So this government will not fudge the figures. And it is this government which is having to acknowledge, increased infiltration, increased attacks. These are not fudged figures.
In Pakistan, Mian Nawaz Sharif is attacked every day by our media, our politicians, that he is too much pro-India. When people came, when Indian journalists were here during the election time, senior people like Barkat Dar, Sushini Haider, I can name all of the people who were here. And when they spoke to Nawaz Sharif, he was very keen that he wants the settlement of all issues through dialogue. And he was attacked that he was being very, very soft on India. But you can't have it both ways. Our Prime Minister is very clear. He wants to resolve the issue through dialogue. But please, do not, our desire to have dialogue with you should not be taken as weakness.
Well, I think then you have to have some consistency. But I'd like to go back to KC Singh. You see, one sec. Now, KC Singh, the government of India will have to take a position on it. It has dilly-dallied. It's been wishy-washy for far too long. And especially after the comment on MFN, if we just wring our hands and do nothing, despite the comment on record of the Pakistani finance minister, what message would we be sending? Why don't we say we pull back MFN status? We take back the decision we took in 1996. Let's also get tough with the Pakistanis if this is the language, which needs to be spoken, Mr. KC Singh.
Well, they are not exporting all that much to India. In any case, the MFN has been not given by us bilaterally. It is as members of the WTO. And Pakistan, as a member of WTO, is duty bound to give it. It's not a concession that they're giving you. And the funny thing is that when Pakistanis discussed this most favored nation, they said one of the difficulties they have is the Urdu translation of the word, which says "सबसे दोस्त पसंद देश." हम वो कहते हैं ये कैसे कह सकते हैं पाकिस्तान के अंदर. So that's another difficulty. You can see how ridiculous it can get that
That's
the
a
Urdu
crazy
translation
translation.
of
That's a
MFN
very crazy
actually becomes a political issue in Pakistan. Now, both prime ministers, I think, have not been able to handle this last incident in a manner where they could guide the public opinion in the two countries to a soft landing. And it's spun out of control. And I would have imagined
Well, I don't
Mr.
know.
Nawaz Sharif,
No.
instead of taking it backwards, should have at least made some noise where instead of this kind of an argument where we hear that we
Well-
have done it onto ourselves. Because my information, one second, my information is that in the place where the incident took place, where the attack took place, it is beyond the fence. Because in many places, the fence is away
No, if
from the line
Nawaz
of
Sharif
control.
has decided,
So the patrol
no, if
was
Nawaz Sharif,
beyond the fence.
but one second, KC
yeah.
Singh, I'd say if Nawaz Sharif has decided to give in to Hafiz Saeed, then what are we giving him a long rope for? Because, no, Mr. Tariq Azim, you know very clearly this, and tell me if I'm wrong. But it was the Jamaat-ud Dawa and all these hardline groups and Hafiz Saeed, they were the ones, they had two protests, one in December and one in June. In May, your government says we will carry on and we'll implement MFN. In June, Hafiz Saeed's group organized protests. Now in August, Nawaz Sharif goes back. That proves it, doesn't it? Mr. Tariq Azim, that proves that in Pakistan today, I'm sorry to have to say this, but Hafiz Saeed calls the shots, not your elected government. Maruf raised his hand. Actually, Tariq Azim, I'll come back to you after Maruf's reaction. Maruf.
Arnab, I just got one point to make to substantiate what Mr. KC Singh has said. My first position is that I think in both cases of India and Pakistan, the political leadership has failed to exercise complete authority and control over the situation, and that is how the situation is spiraling out of control. Two, if the military on both sides are operating as a law unto themselves on the LOC, and the Indian military in this case has reason to be grieved because soldiers have been massacred once again, then the military must be co-opted into the dialogue process, because history has shown when the Pakistan military underwrites the peace arrangement, it stays. And finally, the answer to the entire riddle of what happened on those days when those 5 soldiers were killed lies in what Mr. Azim has said earlier. He has said that Mr. Nawaz Sharif is getting a lot of negative press and a lot of flack in Pakistan.
So he
for
wants to
giving
divert
too
the
much to
attention?
his pro-India views, and therefore people are trying to spoil his party. And by the hardcore elements, not entirely the whole military, but certainly the anti-India rigid element, are doing these kind of activities to ensure that Nawaz Sharif and the peace process is neutralized.
And we know, Mr. Tariq Azim,
so
then
the political leadership must exercise control.
Well, of course, but the political leadership does not exercise control, Mr. Tariq Azim. The Punjab Assembly passed a resolution against India. And tomorrow, I am told at 5 p.m., the President has summoned a meeting of the National Assembly at Parliament House in Islamabad, where they are going to pass an anti-India resolution. Is this the last resort for Nawaz Sharif to survive?
Today, Punjab Assembly passed a resolution because there was firing across the border from Indian side in Shakargarh. Shakargarh happens to be in Punjab.
That was completely in response.
Happens to be in Punjab.
Completely in response to 6 unprovoked incidents of firing by Pakistan since Saturday.